Alright, I'm going to make an attempt here to do a quick little training video for you guys. Here's the squad interface. I'm going to jump into training. There are some things here that you can get into. Infantry training is really basic. You can go through it. Nobody's flying. And then the proving grounds is something I don't muck around with too much, but it allows you to actively go out in the field and test some stuff. But for whatever reason, I recommend you come down here where you can go play the individual factions because their weapons are slightly different and their mechanics are a little bit different. So I'm just going to go. So the Marines are here. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to go into the training range. I think it's going to give me the option to pick one team or the other. Hit continue and pick the Marines. Okay. And the interface that you're going to see here is pretty typical. Normally, your squads in which you're going to join show up here, or you make one. And then these are the different kits. So these are pretty standard amongst factions. There are going to be some subtle differences in titles, like the insurgents get some additional things. But typically, medic, corpsman, right? You could see their kit here. You would like, okay, cool. I want to play with an ACOG, and what you're not going to be able to see me do successfully is highlight. So you see their weapon with ACOG, sidearm, bandages, some smoke grenades, a shovel. We'll get into that, all that jazz, whatever. But typically you play rifleman. Again, you get two different or three different options here. You're probably going to play with ACOG for range. Okay, so I'll take you out into the training range. So this is the typical map interface you're going to be in a lot. These things are called HABs. I don't know what the fuck it stands for, but this is where you spawn. It says main base, but they would usually say HABs. So you can see my cursor, yeah. So this is the range in which you're going to play in. So you hit confirm, you spawn. Typical WASD for movement, shift for sprint. You only get so much sprint, okay? And this is where you would kind of muck around. You get some range out here. Typical interface here. You're going to range out to, you could hit a target 100 meters. No problem. It's $150. But naturally, if you have, 400-meter targets, you look at your pipper where it says the 4. Pretty standard for those who've shot a gun, and voila, nothing fancy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is how you swap your things. See how number 6 has two things? You just double tap 6. Okay. The entrenching tool is used to build and build down things, and I'll explain that in a different bit. This is the rifleman kit. I don't know if it lets me pick different kits too much, but you're pretty much going to have to learn, each kit to be effective. But Grenadier, really good kit to have. I'll show you how to use it. Okay. So here's your Grenadier kit. I'm going to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty much similar as the rifleman, right? But it has a grenade launcher. So we'll go up to the range here, and we're going to talk about key bindings here right before I kind of show you how to do Grenadier roll. And, you can see these stationaries here, mortars, whatever. Okay. So keybinds, really important, naturally. So when you come into settings, this is kind of what I look for, kind of global sensitivity and steady aim, right? You can kind of pick what works well. I do 90 field of view. These are all values that I've set just based on trying to have a constant, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Aim field through different magnifications. I don't think I changed any of this. I think this is all standard. I didn't change any of this. Great. Graphics. So this is a very heavy game. It renders twice looking through scopes. I got a 49. This is a hard game to run. I think Mark has a pretty similar system to me, so I don't think Mark's going to have an issue. Nick and Corey, Corey plays this, so, I would get with him and figure out, Nick, where your settings should be, though I think maybe your resolutions might be subtly different. I do 11. This, I don't know. This is up to you guys. audio. Audio is really important in this game. So, I don't know. This is kind of just what I have my shit set to. This is my input. You see me talking. This game utilizes different radios, or I would say different keybinds to talk in different to different people. This is kind of how I have things set up. I actually have different chats coming to different ears, just to kind of help. Because you'll see people talk, and the color of the talk will be blue for local, green for squad, or yellow for command if you're a squad leader. I don't think anybody's going to be squad leader other than maybe Corey. So you're typically only fussing with blue for local chat, which is proximity. Enemies can't hear you, just friendlies, or squad chat where you're talking to people in your squad. That'll be green. But yeah, I mean, this is here for you guys to copy and paste, and then naturally controls. Okay. I don't even know where to start here, but general. You're not going to be texting too much. M is to open up. There's like a couple different maps you need to open, but this is what's important. So M is going to open your map. You can zoom in. You can hit N to instantly zoom in on where you are. That actually can be kind of helpful. Okay. But then there's this other map by hitting caps where you can interact with it. Now, if I was a fire team leader, a squad team, I would be able to right click and annotate on this map. And that is particularly important for ranging and also ad racking your teammates to a target. Right? I would say I got a light vehicle south. I would put an observe marker there. The compass that you see at the very bottom of the screen would also get that, so people like, okay, I gotta look east. Cool. It doesn't make it does make a 3D mark temporarily, but really you're kind of maneuvering and what's the word I want to use? You're focusing on where the mark goes. So M is a simple, quick little map thing, but when you're physically making changes to it, you're hitting caps. That's how the keybinds are set. Or at least how mine are set. Again, you could be able to pause the video and basically copy stuff that's not the same. Not much else you really need to worry about here, I don't think. Now, voice. This is set this way, so make sure you're paying attention to those primary and alternate. This is set because it's my foot pedal. When I squad lead, I'll use a foot pedal to talk, so I open up an additional keybind to talk to leadership. So usually my foot pad left is this, and my foot pad right is over here. I realize you can't see my cursor, so I got to be a little bit more clear. But what I'm looking at is my alternate, right? Local. I'm using my side mouse buttons to communicate between most of the folks. It's really your call. I don't know what primary is normally, but this is how I do it because you're not meleeing in this game, which is usually what I did, a side mouse button. And, you have to switch to a grenade and throw it with left and right click. It's not like Q or E or F. These radio different squad lead. This is when you're a squad leader. Your number pad nicely lines up with squads. The thing that I think is best is when you're a fire team lead, which if you were playing 4 different guys, I can make 2 of you fire team leads. Middle mouse button is observe. That's how you do a 3D ping, and you can help orient everybody to a target. I use the radio wheel for this, which I think I can show you maybe. I hold down T and I get a radial that I can pick stuff. So I don't even assign this shit. I just use the radio wheel. Infantry is probably what you're going to be using the most. Typical movement, fire, reload, right. This game I do choose because I hit a little bit of lag usually when I ADS to just to toggle aim versus hold. Left shift you'll hold your breath. Sometimes you zoom in a little bit. H for me is how I switch. So I think middle mouse by default is to switch single and burst. And honestly, you're using single fire most of the time. You're only using auto if you're suppressing or if you're like clearing a building and you need to like just spray something. Crouch, prone. This is kind of up to you. Pretty standard stuff. Mantling, jumping. You're gonna do that to climb walls. The fall damage in this game is atrocious. You will learn the hard way that jumping down 6 feet will kill you in this game. I don't have good justification why. F is the change magnification. Now, I don't think I can do that with this, yeah, because it's usually a sniper scope. So F is when you're scoped in with as a sniper or a marksman to do that sort of stuff. But you will use, and why I brought the grenadier stuff in, is to sight. So when you're not aiming, holding down X will let you do emotes. But when you are aiming, it allows you to change your ranging. And sometimes that works on iron sights. Middle mouse, you could use mouse up, mouse down while sighting. And I'll show you how that works. So you do X, mouse wheel up, mouse wheel down, which translates to holding down X. Actually, I need to do it with the grenade launcher. Okay, so you hold down X, and suddenly I can range. And I use mouse up, mouse down to range stuff. So if I want to hit those 200 meter targets, I just hit shift. So I'm going to let go of X. You're going to see it range. I think those are the 200 meter targets. And if you literally look at this thing, you're aiming where it's really hard to see. But you see the 2 and the line on the actual launcher, which will line up right, I think these are the 200 meter targets. No, they're clearly not because I'm fucking stupid. I'm having trouble identifying what's the 200 meter targets here. Maybe it's those way back there. Stand by. Stand by. Yeah, this is a hard game. Hold on. So there's 200 meters. Those are the targets right there I need to hit. Now, again, as a squad lead, I would be able to put a 3D mark down on your compass at the bottom. It would give you kind of a rough estimate number. You would range to that, and you would fire. Much better. Sort of better. But yeah, this Grenadier is going to be really important to put saturations on targets. I'm going to range it to 100, hit the targets right in front of me. Boop. And that should be a perfect hit, and it is. And let's pretend that busted up vehicle right there that we're looking at is enemies sitting in windows. Grenadier is a great thing to just fucking... I got to rearrange here because I swapped to smoke. To hit a window with smoke, obscure their vision, and push. Okay, let's continue talking about keybinds. So, as I kind of told you, 1 through 6 is really how you're going to switch to stuff. I don't know a lot of kits that have 7, 8, 9. It does have a lean function. You don't use it a whole bunch. Charlie you're going to use if you're like an automatic rifleman. This is for deploying stuff. I don't think we're going to be playing in a lot of vehicles, but you're going to hit F to get into vehicles. If you're driving, here are the commands. These are the different seats you can switch to. Some attack vehicles, you are required to be a specific kit called a crewman, so you may not get it. All vehicles, when the game starts, you got to hit E to turn on the engine. Why this is a feature is because sometimes you got to coast in with your engine off to reduce your sound as you go to push something. Optics on some guns, Q. Stabilization, Z. If we're running a 3-man vehicle, there is a third seat that will allow you to basically designate a target for the gunner, which I think forces it to swivel to what you're looking at. Got to be good comm to do that, and I'm not going to show you Helo because you're not going to be playing in it. So that's kind of like the base set of commands. I think I've gotten comfortable enough to squad lead, so I think the typical jobs that we would assign amongst a 4-man is a medic, a squad lead, a combat engineer, because we're probably going to be doing a lot of building, and then either a grenadier or a rocket. And again, I'll just show you a rocket real quick. Don't get a lot of ammo. Rockets are obviously against vehicles. This is called the LAT kit, light anti-tank. They're pretty easy to get because nobody wants to play them because the guns usually don't have optics for balance, but you get rockets, and they're mostly AT. There's some of them, again, each country is different. You can do a little bit better towards troops and stuff. So I'll show you the M136. Obviously, you got to pull it out. You got to arm it, which that was all automatic. You aim down the scope. Again, well, how far can this thing shoot? I don't know. But again, this has ranging capability. Hold on X. Somebody would kind of ping a target. Somebody would say, "Pooh, this is 400 meters. You're going to hold X. Scroll up and down until you see the range. Let go. You see how it auto adjusts. I'm going to zoom in and pop. Really good muzzle velocity. I just hit that target 400 meters out. When vehicles are moving, it's really hard to hit them. Even I, after playing these kits so much, like getting the muzzle velocity or how fast the rocket's going to come out of the barrel, it's literally trial and error. You know, you're going to see like the optic that was there is pretty simple. Like that you just need to kind of point and click. And depending on how far away, you know, there's going to be call outs whether you need to range it. But as you'll see here with the hat kit, so the heavy anti-tank, so they get a slightly different vehicle. There's different ammos, okay? So I'm just going to pick the HE anti-armor. So this is the heaviest rocket in the kit. It does the most damage. You know, we're going to pick the target that's 200 meters. Again, how do I range that? So each weapon is different. So this right in the middle ranges to 100 meters. The second line below the middle is 200. Third line's 300. Or I should say the very middle is 100 meters, and then each line is at 100 additional meters. How do I know that? I had to look this shit up, right? This is how it works in the real world. Like, this is how it works. So if I want to range out this target that's 400 meters, since I know the middle is 100, I got to go down 3 lines. So the third line, so middle's 100, second line's, or first line below the middle is 200, followed by 300, followed by 400. So that's 400. I'm going to hit steady aim. I'm going to shoot, and boom, perfect shot. Muzzle velocity was different from the last rocket, so again, and again, these, I'm only getting a couple rockets. Otherwise, I got to go reload. Okay? So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm doing squad lead, which I don't even know if it lets me do this. It doesn't let me do it in this mode. That's okay. What else is worth showing you? Well, let me grab Combat Engineer, but let me show you how the emplacements work. So everybody except for like a squad leader gets a shovel, and there's reasons for that. That's whatever. Shovels is where you're gonna build up friendly bases, but also destroy enemy bases. You got to dig down their radio. The radio is kind of like the heart of an encampment. But let's talk about like the emplacement. So pretty much if we're running a 4-man, we're going to be doing a lot of base construction, and naturally, like I'm going to give you guys things to do, including logi runs, which means somebody's running back and forth for supplies, and then these emplacements. Tows, obviously super effective against tanks. They cost a ton of ammo. So, I mean, unless you really have a good shot you can hit, then, you know, I'm going to probably not have a ton of tows to use. And again, the base stuff changes. Like, this is the Marine kit. Like, the fucking Hajis get a completely different set. But if you get a tow missile, right-click to aim. So you even got a little range find in the mid. You can zoom in, right? I think tow is good to 1,500 meters, but if I wanted to shoot at this target, you're going to hear it click. It's going to launch. It's a wire guided. You can see this missile is dancing all on their own, okay? And this is really hard to aim, so I think I missed, actually. That landed short. Tows, I think, shoot out to 1,500 meters. But the point I'm saying is, like, this game is hard, right? This is not it's not Battlefield where I just point and shoot and we're good to go. So I'm going to range something that's a little bit easier to hit. Get this 500 meter target. Click, shoot, and I'm going to guide it in. Boop. I barely hit that. Again, these things are hard. But I'm going to give you stuff to do. And, you know, cool. Mark 19, how does this work? Cool. You know, probably going to give you fire team lead here, so you're allowed to range things. If you're ranging stuff, just with the keybinds I gave you, you're going to hit middle mouse button, which I don't think you're going to be able to see here. You hit middle mouse button. It would range it for you. You're like, I need to shoot 400 meters. Okay, this is not ranging. This is interesting. How do I range this? Oh. This is peculiar. I can't range this. So this is a shit example, but let's see what it shoots at naturally. Okay, maybe that one was short. So this thing can hit. Yeah, this is short. So, all right, that's a terrible example of teaching you guys stuff. Some of these machine guns have scopes, and that's what I was going to range from, but I'm a little bit baffled why I couldn't range that. Can't range that either. This one, you should be able to range. This is the typical machine gun you're going to see. This is just an emplacement version. Sometimes you could build a bunker, which kind of shields vision on who's engaging you. But you're to see, you can range stuff. Use the pipper. Cool. I got a target 750 meters out there. Here's the 8. Right? 8's right there. That's 7. So that's 7.5. Slightly off. But I'll tell you what. This gun is not going to just mow down everything at 750 meters. You're really just suppressing at this point. Final thing I'll show, because you guys are going to be running mortars. So there's a website called Squad Maps, and you guys can go look at it at your own time. But I'll kind of explain it to you guys real time to kind of show how this stuff works. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I can change the scene over here to kind of show you. Stand by 1 second. I got to do some things over here. So I'm going to open it up. And you'll see it on the screen here in a moment. Okay, it's open. So real time here, I got to switch over to window capture. SQM we'll call it. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, so you can sort of see Squad Maps here. I'm gonna blow it up. Great. So we're gonna pick a map that's usually played called Gordok. There are different layers to each map, which I won't go into that just yet. Don't worry about the symbols. So let's say the map is random, advanced, and secure. Okay, and we are team 1. So I'm gonna click team 1. So these are, it's kind of like capture the point, right? And, okay, this is not showing up properly on your screen. Stand by. Transform, fit to screen. Perfect. Okay. Let me try to zoom this in a little bit better so you can see it. All right. So this is our main base down here, and it's going to show you the first point. It's Russian outpost. So when you cap it, the only 2 places you can go now are eagers and boards because it's number 2. See how number 3 is? There's 6 options. I go to 2. I go to 2. I'm sorry, 1 and then 2. And options get eliminated, right? So this is how it's random access, random, advanced, and secure, because you don't actually know what the next points are until you cap the previous point. Versus advanced and secure, you see all the bases and you can pre-position. So there's some gambling that's involved about setting up bases to protect these points or not. But one of the features of Squad Maps, which I would run, is you can set mortars and ranging. So I would double click and put a pipper here saying we just set up the mortars there. And I would say, and this circle, this bluish circle that you can sort of see right here, is the range. And let's say the target is here. It gives me a bearing and a range. So if I go back to game capture, let's see if I can get this to pop up. Nope, because I have to change the layers. Stand by. Well, we're not going back to it. So order, move down. Okay, we're back in the game. So if I'm getting ranges, okay, it gets that little pipper. I just loaded. By the way, these can do smoke and HE, 1 and 2. Hit the R button to reload. They shoot 3 rounds at a time. This is what it looks like. So I would say aim at 210 degrees. So you're looking at the bottom of the compass. You're looking for 210. You're going to see a symbol down there because I will give you a symbol so to help you kind of line up. And I'll say so many microliters, right? Or milliradians, or mils. which I won't say, hey, shoot at 200 meters. I'm going to say, hey, shoot at 15, 17 milliradians or mils. So if I want to hit these 200-meter targets, I have to range it to 15, 17, which you see the arrow on the pipper. Okay, so we go to 15, 17. Takes a second to get there. 15, 15, 15, 17. I'm looking at the angle on the bottom, and I go, and I fire. I get 3 rounds. I'll jump off it. I don't think you can see them. But usual flight time is about 20 seconds with mortars, right? I mean, typically you're not hitting moving targets, and you'll never see the work you're doing, but I will be able to relay to you as a squadron leader if your mortars are effective or not. So there come the mortars. They naturally have a little bit of spread. I may have leaned a little bit too hard when I shot those. So that's why it drifted. But that's that. But otherwise, you guys are probably going to be in charge of running some stuff. And then, I'm going to have to create a different video of me setting up a HAB just to kind of give you the other bit. I had Corey jump on one of these in a game. Hold down F to get in. It's the anti-aircraft thing. This, I don't think... So Corey was able to engage a helicopter a couple 100 meters out, and honestly, it was just kind of trial and error, I think, in order to make sure he hit the target. You could look at the bottom right, where it tells you it's a frag tracer round. It's ranged to 300 meters, and I can't change it. So if it's already ranged to 300 meters, that makes me assume that I should be able to just fire and hit those targets out there. No. Okay. So, I don't know. Maybe this is 400? Nope. So, I don't know what this line is. But I'm sort of ranging it, right? So maybe this is... oh, fuck, we can't even see that far. But this line may be 600. So, we'll say this is 500 right here. Yeah. Anyhow. There is going to be a little bit of trial there. That is designed to be a Haji weapon, so again, they don't get nice fucking optics. But I think that kind of covers what I wanted to show you here in this bit. What I can do real quick, bear with me as I run around, kind of show you what a Logi vehicle looks like. So this is important. The map, right, is going to show you different, and unfortunately this map does not zoom into the quality that it needs to. But a Logi is like a longish vehicle, and it has like these 3 little bullets on it. You can sort of see it here. Visually, like the Hajis will have like Toyotas loaded up with supplies. You'll see tracked Logis, which basically look like BMDs. Or you'll get wheeled Logis, which is my preference because they move pretty well. That again have supplies in the back. They're kind of visually shown that way. So let me get over to them. So some of the tracked Logis look like that. These are some Haji vehicles because they get some things to shoot. Got MRAPs here, and listen, I don't expect you guys to be able to call things out specifically. Like, oh, I don't know what this is. Jeep with machine gun. Cool, that's fine. We'll make it work. Here's your Humvees, machine gun. You got some with tows, and this is a transport vehicle. This is a Logi. The difference is this is used to shuttle troops around. This is also used to shuttle troops around, but it gives you this, gas, and this is a Logi. This is how you make bases in the game. And you see really cool. So I'll show you one other thing too, and this is going to be kind of hard to follow because I got to keep going in and out of this menu. This vehicle, actually we're good. This vehicle is loaded with 1,500 ammo, 1,500 supplies. Ammo is what people, like when you make a base, they're going to need ammo for their vehicles. They're going to need ammo for weapons. Construction is used for 2 things. It's used for building up emplacements, barriers, defenses, guns, like stationaries. But you can also build repair stations, which when vehicles come to repair, they burn construction. When we're loading a Logi or deloading, you have these options. Load ammo, load construction, but we're full. So if I said, hey, bring me back a vehicle with 2,000 ammo and 1,000 build, will you say build or construction? You go, okay. And you said 2,000 ammo. So actually, this is not going to let me unload. But you would unload. You just hold this down. You'll see this kind of make some noise, slowly decrease to like 1,000, and then you would go load ammo. So this is how you load. This is how you deload. It'll make more sense when I get into a video. Again, you get into a vehicle. I'm driving. The driving in this game is really rough, like the models or whatever. It is all first person. There's no third person. There may be times where I ask you to drive, and you got to do like this bullshit navigation, and it's hard. So I got to make a right-hand turn. Right, cool, made it. I'm basically hitting caps lock to nav. Usually, if you have a good, like if one of you guys are in here, I'd have you guys, you giving commands, make a left, make a right, or you would be able to put symbols on the map, which I really can't show you in this mode, in order to kind of, let me know where to go. What's also really interesting about this is people can mark vehicles and tanks. So if some of you guys are in the map, and again, I can't show this, and somebody sees a red symbol of a tank on a road up here, you're going to say, hey, there's a tank to the northwest, egress to, the east road, not the north road. It'll make more sense. I will probably hit caps lock to open up to confirm what you're talking about, and we'll go from there. So that's probably the end of this training video. I hope this makes a lot of sense. This game, it is challenging. This is like old man Call of Duty. And here's another example. I can range 400 meters iron sight. I can't discern. I think the 200 meters are there. All right, so I just ranged it. No, there's no confirmation that you've hit a target. Well, you will see kind of pink mist if you hit a target, but there's no confirmation you get a kill. Again, it's a milsim game. It's not Call of Duty where it gives you hit markers, noises when you hit people, etc. Engineer kit. I'm going to probably have you guys use it. They put mines down. You can put sticks of C4 on stuff. As a matter of fact, I believe it'll stick to vehicles. You're not usually getting up to vehicles. We come across an enemy logistics vehicle. I'll say pop the tires. Sorry, I got the command tab open. Pop the tires. They require a crewman kit to fix it. Great, awesome. Hey, stick a piece of C4 on here. Sometimes it'll stick. I think it's a 30-second timer. Hey, I don't want you to put that C4 on there anymore. Get your shovel, right-click to dig down, and you would dig it down, or to disarm it. But there's not going to be a lot of times where you go and do that. But I believe that's a 30-second timer. That'll go boom, boom. That is really good to throw on certain enemy things. Great. And then the combat engineer can also repair vehicles with the repair kit. Naturally, that C4 was actually not strong enough to kill the Logi, which is interesting. But it's obviously pretty fucked up. If I told you to go repair a vehicle, you get this symbol that says, hey, the tire's fucked. So go over to the fucked up tire and start fixing the tire. And what you'll see is that, and by the way, vehicle tools are unlimited, right? You're just doing your thing. But if I tell you to restore some tires, or you got to figure out if the engine's broken, then you go to where the fucking engine is and you start hammering it. Again, this is not a quick process, but this is something that may be required, and the combat engineer can do this. Like I said, they can also dig faster than any other class, which is super useful. Cool. That actually repairs all the tires. You can see this vehicle's pretty fucked. It's damaged. I believe, vehicle can't be repaired any farther because you can only repair components and not overall health. I don't know. That was a quick little something. Field binoculars. Very last thing I'll show you. This is how you're going to do some ranging. Okay. Also some identification. Again, you'll be able to scan out. You'll be able to ping this thing and say, hey, this is 400 meters away. This does target. Be able to discriminate against targets. This game does not give you very good indications on what you're looking at is either an enemy or a baddie. If the dude looks like a fucking terrorist and you're the Marines, you're shooting the terrorist. If the dude's got a fucking beard, you're shooting him. Those are the decisions that you're going to have to make in very real time. Somebody comes around the corner, you're aiming, you're scoping in, and you're making the call whether you're popping them or not. I don't know if this is still range. It is. Go to the back 100. Boom. Done. All right, Frost. That's the end of the video. 35 minutes to explain things, whatever. I'll make maybe one more to kind of show some in-game talking aloud, playing solo, and we'll go from there.